everyone, it's Jackie. Welcome back to my channel, and today I am doing my first ever Big Brother video, specifically about Celebrity Big Brother. This is the first ever season of Celebrity Big Brother that's been done in the US, and I am loving it so far. Because it's a shorter season, you know, we're having the drama really high right away, and I'm just really enjoying this season, watching all these different personalities in the Big Brother house. And in this video, I wanted to discuss what happened in week 1 of the competition and tell you my opinions on the different famous house guests and who I think has a real chance of being crowned the first ever winner of Celebrity Big Brother US. First off, there is one celebrity who we can already count out. If you watched the live eviction last night, you know that Chuck Liddell was eliminated in a flipped vote. And I do feel sorry for Chuck, but I think him choosing to open his bag this week was a fatal mistake. And if he hadn't done that, then he wouldn't have been on the block in the first place. It just was not a smart game move for him. And I'm sorry to see him go, but he didn't make the smartest moves that he could in the time he was in the house. Another celebrity who I don't think has any chance of winning is Meta World Peace. First of all, in his intro video, he said that he had basically no idea of what the show was. He'd never seen it before, and even when he was in the house, he still showed some lack of understanding about how the game worked. Like, he didn't know that you could broker deals with people. So he really doesn't understand how the game works. And he's also established that he wants to be evicted because he misses his wife so much after about 1 week of competition. Now, I think it's nice that the two of them have such a relationship where they just want to be around each other all the time, but if that's the way he feels, then this is obviously the wrong game for him to be in, since if he makes it to the end, he's going to be locked in this house with no contact with the outside world for weeks, and that's just not a good game for him to play. He told Shannon that he wanted to be evicted, but ended up not going on the block, though he did seem angry when he wasn't put up, so maybe this has given him some kind of fighting spirit. Because I think it'll be so boring if he just decides to lay down and die, wanting to get evicted, asking to get evicted. That would just not be interesting TV for me to watch. So hopefully he's now found a motivation to work hard and play hard. And I just think it would be so boring just for him to willingly get evicted. So I hope that there's some kind of twist in his gameplay, because right now I'm not loving it. I am also counting out Ariadna and Mark. I really wanted to see Ariadna succeed. She seems like she has a nice personality, but her performance in the veto was not great. The word that she spelled wasn't even a word, so I don't know how well she'll fare in competitions, and I think she's only going to be able to make it so far and probably get eliminated somewhere in the middle of the pack. I don't think she's ruffled enough feathers to garner an early elimination, but I don't think that once the alliance breaks up, she's going to be able to support herself, because she's shown that she's not a strong physical or mental competitor, unfortunately. Also, Mark McGrath, I feel like he is not making some very smart game moves. He flat out told Shannon that she was his biggest threat while she was HOH, and that's just, come on, man, what were you thinking? And I feel like he's kind of more so here to have fun than actually really compete and win, so again, I don't think he's going to last very long. Another person who I think is going to get eliminated somewhere in the middle is Brandy. I think that she's already clashed with several people, and she doesn't seem to be the easiest person to get along with, which means that eventually people are probably going to get sick of her. I watched Brandy on Celebrity Apprentice, which I used to watch before Trump decided to start a political career, and I didn't like her on that show. Oh, well, I'm going off on this tangent. I do remember when I was younger, I was probably like 12 or 13 watching The Celebrity Apprentice, and there was this one time that Trump made this comment to a woman. It might have been Brandy, actually. He might have said this to Brandy. I don't remember. He said to one female contestant, who was, you know, a physically attractive woman. She said to him, like, oh, please don't fire me. I will get down, like, I was on my hands and knees working so hard. And he said, that would be a really pretty picture, to see you down on your knees. And I remember my, like, young self being like, oh my god, did he seriously just say that to her? That is so creepy and degrading. And I just vividly remember him saying that, and oh my god, now this guy is the president of the United States. Oh, we're all screwed, guys. Also, my impression of Trump's voice was absolutely horrible, but sorry, I'm not good at impressions or accents or anything like that. I mean, but yeah, you know how he talks, and like, come on, can't you totally imagine him saying that creepy comment? Like, knowing what we know about him now, like, that was just the tip of the iceberg with this guy.
Know what he came in.
Let me say this.
Sure.
Brandy came in here, she got down on her knees and said, I passionately want to do this. I, at this point, am the team chooser, not the team leader yet.
Excuse me, you dropped to your knees.
Yes.
And begged to do this. And I said, I'm looking around the room, and we had, even LaToya, who sat beside me, thought maybe Brandy was
Must be a
right.
pretty picture you
Little
dropping to
John
your
and
knees.
Dennis thought I should be. Omarosa said me. Some other people said you. And in the end of it, I said...
And since we're already talking about The Apprentice and Trump, let's talk about Omarosa. Omarosa is actually playing this game better than I thought she would. I had seen her on The Celebrity Apprentice in the past as well, and I remember I hated her. I thought she was just a horrible person. I didn't like her at all. She got on everyone's nerves. And so far, she actually seems to be making allies, which is surprising to me. I thought everyone was going to hate her and want her out right away. But so far, she's actually doing okay. Now, her whole story about the Trump administration, I'm not sure I believed all of that. I believed her when she said that she felt this sense of loyalty to him because, you know, Omarosa, none of us would know who she is if it weren't for The Apprentice and everything that Donald Trump and her, that everything he did for her career, helping her get these 15 minutes of fame. So it made sense to me that she would feel like she needed to support him, and it made sense to me that she said that she was willing to do or say anything that she needed to get the money because she wanted to make good TV so that she could support herself because she was in a tough financial situation. That made sense to me. I think she was kind of making herself out to be the victim a little bit, you know, crying and saying like, oh, I tried to reel him in, but nobody would let me, and like blah, blah, blah. Basically acting like none of this was her fault, like she was totally against all these crazy things that he was doing, even though we know she was a very vocal supporter of him, basically up until the minute that she was fired and she had to be taken out of the White House, like forced out, physically forced out. So I feel like she is playing the victim a little bit. I mean, maybe she does regret what she did for him now, but whether or not that's actually because she saw the error of her ways, or maybe she's just pissed that she got fired, I don't know. I feel like there was some truth to what she was saying. She probably does regret it now. I'm just not sure if she regrets it because she actually knows it was wrong, or if she just regrets it because she got fired. And I think she is playing the victim to garner sympathy and to make herself look better because her reputation has been dragged through the mud, and she's definitely doing some damage control on this show. I feel like Omarosa and Keisha are definitely playing way too hard, too fast. I think that Shannon was right to not use the veto. I think that would unnecessarily ruffle some feathers if they did use it, and I feel like the two of them are just a little too hardcore for the first week. Also, I really don't like Keisha because there was that conversation she was having with Omarosa, I think on night one, where Omarosa was talking about how she had felt this loyalty to Trump, and she compared it to how Keisha supported Bill Cosby after he was accused of rape. And Keisha said, oh, that's comparing apples to oranges, but for once, I actually agree with Omarosa. The situations are not all that different. Keisha chose to believe Bill Cosby over these, I forget how many women who were accusing him of sexual assault, because she said, oh, I knew him and he was never inappropriate towards me, so therefore they all must be lying. Like, honey, you realize he wasn't inappropriate to you because you were a little girl. And he's a rapist, but not a pedophile. You were not his type. Just because he was never inappropriate towards you doesn't mean that he wasn't inappropriate towards them. But just because of that, you're choosing to believe him over all of these women who have all accused him and all had the same story. I mean, Bill Cosby is guilty. I don't know what else to tell you. If you don't believe it at this point, I don't know what to tell you. I feel like it's just common sense that he did these things. I mean, if you're really choosing to believe him over all of these women who all have the same story, that's just kind of sad. And she's saying, oh, Omarosa and I could not be politically more different. Well, I don't know how great of a liberal you can be when you support a rapist. Just saying. Some other contestants who I think have the possibility to make it pretty far but probably won't win are Ross and Marissa. Both of them are super fans, so they have seen all of Big Brother and they know the strategy, and hopefully we'll get to see them making some behind the scenes moves, manipulating people without getting caught. That would be good to watch. I don't know how well they'll do in comps because their performances haven't been very strong so far, but hopefully they can have a good social game. I think they could possibly make it pretty far in the house, but I don't think their chances of winning that are that great. Possibly one of them could make it to final 2, but I feel like they probably wouldn't win. James was someone who I thought for sure was a goner this week until the vote was flipped. He was a really strong competitor in the HOH competition, at least, not so much in the veto. And I definitely thought that he was going to go home up until the vote flip happened. I think that actually probably he would have been a better person to get out. I think he was a stronger competitor, but, you know. And I have to admit, I'm kind of, like, not happy because when I was a preteen, I loved Big Time Rush, and I had a crush on James because I thought he was so attractive. I mean, I did like how Logan was smart and sensitive, but I really thought that James was an attractive guy, and so far in the show, he's coming off like a jerk, and I don't like him that much anymore. My preteen self buried deep inside of me is crying somewhere, I guess. But he did manage to get himself out of this, and even though he has made some enemies so far, maybe he could be sort of like a Paul figure, where he's really good at competitions, not so great at social game, making some enemies, but still gonna be able to make it far based on his physical strength. And I don't know if he would win at the end because he's made so many enemies, and he is cocky, which was Paul's greatest weakness both times, and that's kind of the reason why I'm not super confident in his ability to win, but I do think he has the potential to make it far. Hopefully he'll check his ego a little bit, but we'll have to see. Last but certainly not least, Shannon was my pick to win before the season even started after reading everyone's bios. I definitely thought she was going to be a strong competitor, and so far she has been. She won the first HOH, and she won the veto, so she's definitely good at competitions. My only worry is I feel like she may be putting a target on her back because her alliance, her all-girls alliance is already crumbling, and night 1, when she told Omarosa that she and Marissa were actually friends, something Marissa told her not to tell anyone, and she said she wanted to start an all-girls alliance, I just went, oh my god, what are you doing? Because we know from the history of Big Brother, an all-girls alliance has never ever worked out, and while I would love to see a bunch of women working together, kicking ass and taking names, it's already falling apart after 1 week, and I just don't think in Big Brother women have a history of working well together. So this may have been a big mistake on her part. That being said, I do think that Shannon is the strongest competitor in the house, and she has a good chance of winning, but we're going to have to see. I feel like somebody, if they got the chance, would want to take her out because everybody views her as their biggest threat at this point, and it's just really going to depend on how things go from here. I think that she's the strongest competitor so far, but that may also be on her undoing because everybody sees her as a threat. So guys, those are my thoughts on week 1 of Celebrity Big Brother. I am loving the show so far. I really hope that CBS will do another season after this one because I am enjoying it immensely. It is so entertaining so far. So let me know what house guest you are rooting for to become the first ever winner of Celebrity Big Brother in the US. And if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!